Hello students, and welcome back to Hexxit Education. This is lesson number 26. This is going to be our episode on the various armors that are available through the mods in Hexxit. So without further ado, we're going to head over to, where else? Our fashion design floor to show you a brief tutorial on armors. Okay, here we are. So for the sake of time, I'm not going to be putting on each of these pieces of armor. Simply put, I don't particularly like trying on clothes in real life, so I don't really want to try on clothes in Minecraft. I will be judging this armor based on the armor that is the number of armor icons it gives us, the amount of durability, because and you do that by holding down F3 and H on your keyboard, and what it does with normal Minecraft, it will show you the durability of items that have been damaged. So this wooden sword has been damaged a little bit, but this one hasn't, so it'll only show the ones that are damaged. So this will explain to you why I have a large cactus in the middle of our fashion design level. This is not actually a fashion statement. This is because I put on each of these suits of armor and then ran into the cactus. That's the way I configure it in order to damage them slightly enough to tell how much durability they have. And we'll be talking about the various natural enhancements that each of these sets of armor have, as well as just briefly on their aesthetic value. Okay, so first off, we're going to talk about the cloth armor that's available through Project ZULU. And let's take a look at this. And basically, the cloth comes in 4 colors. It comes in blue, green, red, and white. And I want to show you one thing, one interesting part here. You make it with just a normal wool that's been dyed. However, if you use, in this case, green wool, in this case, lime wool, you can still get the same green legging. It's the same way for, I guess, for red, you need red. For some reason, not giving the recipe for the white, but for the blue, yeah, you have the blue and you have the light blue. So whichever dye you have, you can still use it to make the cloth armor. So in terms of the stats, I'm going to say the armor value for the cloth is 2.5. Now with armor, the average durability, approximately, these are all approximate durabilities, is 25. That's the average across all 4 pieces. It does not have any intrinsic enhancements, and its main benefit is that it looks sort of colorful, and you can dye it in different ways, but it looks pretty plain. That being said, this is something I kind of wish they would add into vanilla Minecraft. I think adding wool or cloth armor would be a great benefit to early game in Minecraft, but that's just my 2 cents. Mojang, please. Okay, I gotta hit myself there. So first thing I want to state is sort of a baseline. So in vanilla, leather armor, the full set of it, has a value of 3.5 armor and an average durability of 70. Gold armor has a armor value of 5.5 and an average durability of 80. Iron armor has an armor value of 7.5 and an average durability of 200. And diamond armor has an armor value of course, 10 and an average durability of 450. So those are the baselines from which to judge these here. So you can tell the cloth armor is slightly worse. In fact, it's somewhat definitely worse than leather armor. It makes up for in its sort of aesthetics and the fact that it's very cheap to manufacture. So next up, we have this, which is the fur cloth from Project ZULU. This has an armor value of 3.5 and an average durability of 70. It has no intrinsic enhancements, and it kind of resembles buckskin. So I can almost see that. So I can show you. The fur cloth is made from. Okay, that's got to be a. Okay, so there's definitely a problem with the NEI currently, because this is showing me Cactus making fur cloth, but fur cloth is ordinarily made using these fur pelts. So when you find these, there you go. You make the fur cloth. If this thing isn't a little bit buggy. So moving on, we have the cactus cloth. And the armor value of this is 3.5. The average durability is 70. Has no intrinsic enhancements. And it kind of resembles looking like a frog when you put it on. And how you make this, I'm curious now. Yeah, this is the one where you actually use it to use cactus in order to make it. So if I wanted to, I could just grow this thing and make armor out of it. Although it is, again, it's not that good. It's roughly, in fact, it's almost exactly equivalent to vanilla leather. So if you happen to be in an area where you don't have access to cows, you can just knock over a couple of cactus and make some armor out of that. So moving on, we have the turtle armor. This is also from Project ZULU. Now turtle armor is made from, I believe it's turtle scale. And this is a relatively hard thing to find. If you happen to find turtles around rivers or oceans or that kind of thing, definitely grab this, because turtle armor is how do I put this? Well, let me give you the stats. The turtle armor has a 7.5 armor value, so it's equal to iron. Has an average durability of 550. That's actually the highest base armor durability of any of these armors. It doesn't have, however, it only has one intrinsic ability, which I'm actually going to show you because it is kind of interesting. Oh, you just saw it there. Wait for it. Yeah, you get a little heart particle. As far as I can tell, I don't think it does anything other than look cool, but still, nice little addition there. So it looks kind of like you're almost like a Ninja Turtle if you wear it. So if you happen to find Project ZULU turtle scales, get a couple of them. If you don't haven't got anything better, you might as well make some armor out of that. So moving on, we have the scale armor from Project ZULU. This is sort of the main armor from that mod pack. And what it is upgradable from up here, which is the normal scale armor. Now, very important, scale armor for Project ZULU is not to be confused with Hexxit scale armor, which is this. Very, very different. This one is much more expensive to make, for one thing. You make scale armor using scales. So they are these, and these drop off of a wide variety of Project ZULU beasts that you'll find in the game. So what you do is, when we have the Project ZULU scale armor, you can, if you want to, upgrade it to either iron plated, gold plated, or diamond plated. Now, unfortunately, this is not a perfect solution, because if, for example, you took your scale armor and you enchanted it and then you upgraded it, say for example, if you want to make it diamond plated, you put the scales here and fill it or surround it with diamonds, the enchantments will not transfer over. So it's somewhat useful if you happen to have a lot of these scale items and you sort of on the fly want to upgrade to them, but in general it's not the best thing in the world. But let me give it the stats for the scale armor. In any case, regular scale armor is 3.5 armor, average of 70 durability. The iron plated is 7.5 armor, average durability of 200. The gold plated armor is 5.5 armor with an average durability of 90. And the diamond plated scale armor is now an armor value of 10 with an average durability of 450. So these are pretty much exactly equivalent to their vanilla counterparts. The only difference being that you can sort of have your armor and then sort of eat it too, as it were. So moving on, we have IMPSKIN. Now, this stuff is kind of interesting. This is from Natura, and the armor value for this is 3.5. The average durability is 450. So in terms of the armor, it's roughly equivalent to leather. However, in durability, it's equal to diamond. So it's kind of a contradiction there. And if you look here, it comes pre-enchanted. So in this case, we have protection 1, blast protection 1, projectile protection 1, and feather falling 1, combined with fire protection for each one. It makes sense considering you get IMPSKIN from the imps that you find in the nether. Now, again, this is from Natura, so this is sort of designed towards living in the nether, and it's not a bad alternative. If you don't have a deep need for leather from other things, say for books or something, you can definitely use the IMPSKIN to make this armor, and it is fairly useful in the nether. So, and so of course you get some of the stuff from Twilight Forest. So moving on, we have, like I said, the fiery armor. This is from the Twilight Forest. This is made fairly difficultly. from fiery ingots, which are made by taking iron and fiery blood. Fiery blood, I believe it only drops off of the Hydra. It may drop off a couple of things, maybe fighting chests also, but primarily drops off of the Hydra. So if you get enough of this stuff together, you can make this pretty cool set of armor. The armor values for this is 10 for armor value and 360 average durability. It comes pre-enchanted with fiery Aura 2, which is basically deals fire damage to everything around you. Pretty useful stuff if you happen to like burning things down. In terms of appearance, this thing always reminds me of the guys from TRON. If you happen to have not seen the movie, maybe you've seen the trailer for it. So moving on, we have, I get too confused, so I believe it's this one. Yes, that's right. This is the ironwood armor. Okay, so ironwood has a little dot in the middle. That's the way you can tell the difference. This has an armor value of 8, has an average durability of 280, and comes pre-enchanted with level 1s. In this case, we have AQUA, protection, and feather falling. I believe this is somewhat randomized. The benefit of ironwood, as you remember from our previous episodes, is that ironwood can be manufactured using a fairly simple recipe. Whereas the STEELEAF here, which I think looks really cool, it kind of reminds me of a wood elf armor, has an armor value of 8, average durability of 280. So it's pretty much exactly the same in terms of armor and durability. However, this comes pre-enchanted with level 2 of something. So I've got projectile protection, blast protection, fire, and feather falling 2. And the downside is that you cannot manufacture the materials here. You can only find them in chests and drops. So not too bad if you can find them. All right, so next step, I want to talk about NAGASCALE. This is also from Twilight Forest, and it's unusual that it only has the two pieces, as the chest piece and the leg piece. Now, the ones I spawned in here don't have enchantments, but according to the NEI, you can they do apparently come pre-enchanted. This one with protection 3, and this one with fire protection 3. So in terms of durability, each piece is slightly worse than diamond, but if they do come enchanted, then they're quite useful indeed. So and again, I can't really say the armor value because it's only the two pieces, but the two together make a 6.5. But again, it's not a full set, so it's not a true determination. The average durability of these two pieces is 320, which is again slightly worse than diamond, but again, it's just these two pieces. I will say though, they look kind of cool. These kind of remind me more of like what a turtle should look like rather than the actual turtle armor. So moving on, we have the armor from Fallen Meteors. Now, of all the armor in this room, this is the one that I wear most often, the Meteorite. And this is because if you have even one piece of this, you get the magnetization aura ability. So armor value is 8, average durability is 480, which is higher than vanilla diamond. So moving on, we have the Freezerite armor. It has an armor value of 5.5, meaning it's equal to gold. Average durability of 90, but about equal to gold. But it comes pre-enchanted with, in this case, Respiration 3, Aqua Affinity, and Cold Touch on 2 of its parts. I will say Cold Touch is pretty much the main reason to use Freezerite armor, because what it does is it freezes the water underneath you. So if you have to combine Cold Touch legs with Cloud Boots, which we're going to talk about in a minute, if it doesn't bug out, and you can actually sort of hop, skip, and jump across instantly frozen water across rivers. Very useful if you don't want to use boats. And next we have the Kreknorite armor. Now this stuff is very hard to find. If you happen to get a whole lot of Kreknorite, it's worth doing this. If nothing else, then you will never have to worry about taking fire damage ever. The armor value is 10, equal to diamond. The average durability is 550. So it is, I believe, a little bit high, slightly higher than the turtle armor we saw a minute ago up there. It comes pre-enchanted, every piece with fire protection 4. So you don't actually need to have all 4 pieces in order to get the main benefit of fire protection, but still very, very useful piece of armor if you can get it. Okay, next thing I want to talk about briefly, like I said, are the Cloud Boots. Now I love Cloud Boots. Let me show you the recipe for them. You make them with 4 golden feathers, and you make golden feathers with gold ingots and a feather. make these as soon as you can. Just make them. In terms of armor, you get 0.5 armor just for using the boots, which is equal to leather. The durability, however, is 350, which is a little bit less than diamond. So I would say in general they're very much worth getting in Hexxit. They're one of the more signature items that you can get. And I would recommend putting unbreaking on this, if at all possible, in addition to maybe protection or something else. They do not, however, need feather falling, because what the cloud boots do is give you a high jump and essentially feather falling X. So very, very useful stuff. And they even look kind of cool. They look almost like clouds. And they even have little gold things in the back, sort of like wings. They're almost like a lighter blue version of the diamond armor. Okay, moving on very briefly, we have the CHOCODISGUISE. Now this is made using chocobo feathers, and I'm going to wear it because it makes me look like a chicken. Yes, that was totally necessary. I'm putting this on because it's not going to stay on for very long. So watch what happens when I run up against this cactus. Yep, my armor disappeared. That's because the CHOCODISGUISE is not real armor. It's just used for its appearances. It has essentially a durability of 2. So if you take even a little bit of damage, it will be destroyed. As far as I can tell, it doesn't have any apparent value. I've looked online, could not find any reason to use it other than the fact you look like a chicken, which in some cases might be enough of a reason. But if you ever wanted an armor not to use in Hexxit, it would be the CHOCODISGUISE. If you ever want armor to make your enemies laugh at you, then definitely go for the CHOCODISGUISE. So next up, we have the 2 armors from Harkenside. I think I talked about these briefly before, but over here we have the Living Metal. It has an armor value of 7.5, average durability of 200, about equal to iron. And its main benefit is that as you harvest souls, not use souls, but as you harvest souls, you will regain your durability. And it looks kind of cool. It looks almost like a steel warrior. Okay, and moving right next to it, we have the Biomass Armor. It has an armor value of 6, average durability of 140, so it's not quite as good as the Living Metal. And similarly, it will regenerate durability with blood harvesting. And it looks kind of cool too. If you can kind of see, actually, let me show you. It looks kind of cool. It looks almost like Zisto, or it looks like you took a dip in acid. So I say that's the main benefit of biomass. If you're not doing a lot of blood harvesting, is that it looks kind of like you took a dip in acid. Okay, now for the pièce de résistance. These 3 armors represent the pinnacle of Hexxit. This is what you are aiming for. More often than not, what you're aiming for is this first one here, which is the Hexxit Scale Armor. And as I remember from, I think we talked about this in our very first episode. In fact, no, episode 0, we talked about this. You take a hexabiscus, or hexaflower sometimes called, and you get a hexical essence. You take 4 hexical essence with a diamond, and you get a hexical diamond. You take hexical diamonds, and you can make 1 piece of each of these armor sets. So if you, for example, you wanted to make scale armor, you would need primarily obsidian and gold. And the armor value of the Hexxit Scale Armor is 10. The average durability is 450. And I should note that that's actually the exact same for all 3 sets here. So all of them have pretty much diamond quality armor value and durability. However, the main benefit for using these armor is using all 4 together, you get set buffs. So with Hexxit Armor, you get Strength, Resistance, and Fire Resistance 3. Very cool. Okay, now next up we have the Thief Armor. And the main benefit for this one is the 2 things. One is the set buffs, Night Vision and Strength, but also if you saw right now, and you see here, it vastly increases your speed. Now, my game is actually relatively laggy, so I don't always recommend using this. But if you happen to like a very quick game, then this is for you. And last up is the tribal armor. I will have to admit though that in my games playing Hexxit, I have made the scale armor several times. I have made the thief armor, I think once or twice. I have never made the tribal armor because it does, for me, it doesn't actually seem quite as good. Its set bonuses is strength, night vision, and jump boost. So unless you're living in a particularly hilly area, it's not really that useful. At least compared with the defensive power of the scale armor or the real speed of the thief's armor. But you know, if you happen to like the appearance of it, which kind of looks like a barbarian, then you might like the tribal Hexxit armor. Okay, so we've come to the end of our lesson on the various armors available in Hexxit. I hope you enjoy your time here. I hope you are well prepared and well armored for the Hexxit games to come. So this has been Kankadea for Hexxit Education. Class dismissed.